Hi everyone, welcome to Pathopulse underscore Radhika and series on genes related to neoplasia. So the gene which we are going to discuss today is the patch gene, which is the abbreviation of the gene called patch. Okay, so this is again a tumor suppressor gene which is going to suppress the development of tumor. So before going into the discussion of patch gene, so this gene functions like more or less similar to this APC and beta catenin. Okay. So those who have not watched the video on APC, you can watch that and come back and watch this video so that you will be able to understand the concept better. So this gene is a tumor suppressor gene. So patch gene is again a tumor suppressor gene. When you have mutations or when this gene is affected, you can get certain tumors. It predisposes to the development of certain tumors. So the chromosome where it's located is 9q. It's located on 9q. So you can easily remember q. So half of it is 9, right? So it's located on chromosome 9q. So why is this important? Because when you have mutation in this, you can develop a particular syndrome called Gorlin syndrome. So because it has got a syndromic association, it's important. So syndrome meaning it's not one feature, it's a constellation of features. So when you have mutations in this gene, you can have multiple basal cell carcinomas, especially at a young age group, less than 20 years. Okay. Then you can have certain cysts in your related to dental areas. Okay. So what are those cysts? You call that as keratocystic odontogenic keratocyst or keratocystic odontogenic tumors. Okay, you can get odontogenic tumors. Okay, so they are nothing but cysts which are lined by stratified squamous epithelium which can occur in the mandible. Okay, so there's a keratocystic odontogenic tumors. Main thing is basal cell carcinoma. You should remember they can predispose to one other tumor which I'll tell you later when I'm discussing about how the patch gene functions. So far remember only this, it's a tumor suppressor gene, mutation of which can cause multiple basal cell carcinomas, especially at a young age, and keratocystic odontogenic tumors. It predisposes to other tumors as well, which I will tell you after discussing the pathogenesis. So if you see this one, whatever you have towards one side is a normal cell, and here you have how it functions when you have basal cell carcinoma. So don't get confused with this complicated diagram. I'll explain you and make it simpler. Okay, so this is the patch gene which we are talking about, which is going to encode for a protein which we call it as a patch protein. Okay, so imagine it like a APC. So when I was telling about the APC gene, I told APC usually forms a complex with beta catenin. Likewise, there are certain differences, but remember the concept is like they form a complex. Likewise, this patch gene usually forms a complex with another gene product called smoothening gene. Okay, that's called smoothening gene. Okay, so when these two are going to form a complex, and the protein or the signal which is going to activate this complex is sonic hedgehog. That's called sonic hedgehog. Okay, so this is like a signal. So whenever the sonic hedgehog is going to sit on this protein, patch protein, this smoothline will dissociate. It will go to the nucleus and cause activation of transcription factors, one of which is GLI1, which leads to uncontrolled proliferation of cells, So it's involved in normal development and homeostasis. This should happen only when you have a signal. Without signal, this should not help in proliferation of cell, right? So I'll repeat again. This patch will form always a complex with smoothline, and whenever you have the binding of the sonic hedgehog signal, there will be dissociation of patch from smoothline, which leads to transcription factors activation, leading to proliferation of cells, which helps in development and homeostasis. But what happens when you have mutation in patch? Even without your sonic hedgehog, this dissociation of smoothulin happens, which leads to uncontrolled activation of the transcription factor, which leads to development of multiple basal cell carcinoma. So I was telling you about one tumor which I'll tell later. So because the sonic hedgehog pathway is related to one CNS tumor, anyone? So recently your medulloblastoma has been classified based on the molecular changes. Okay, so you classify as Wnt activated, that is wingless pathway, then sonic hedgehog activated, and you have group 3 and group 4 medulloblastomas. So because the sonic hedgehog pathway is involved, so mutations in this patch gene which is involved in activating your sonic hedgehog signaling, whenever you have mutations in patch gene, sometimes that can lead to medulloblastoma and sometimes ovarian fibroma as well. Okay, so it can lead to basal cell carcinoma, odontogenic tumors, medulloblastomas, and ovarian fibromas. So this is about how your patch gene functions. So once you understand how it functions, it will be easy for you to remember. So basal cell carcinoma is again very important from dermatology and surgery point of view. So I'll summarize few important gross and microscopic appearance of basal cell carcinoma. So basal cell carcinoma appears as pearly papules with telangiectasia. So look at this, it appears pearly white and you can see some thin blood vessels running over it. So whenever you see a pearly papule with telangiectasia, especially in the face, especially when it occurs in a line above, when you draw a line from the nose to the ear, a tumor which occurs above it, usually when it has this morphology, it's a basal cell carcinoma, right? Next is how it appears histologically. So remember, basal cell carcinoma can have nests of cells with peripheral palisading. So what do you mean by palisading? It is just sliding of cells. So when you see the peripheral cells, look here, in the periphery there will be palisading. They will form a uniform sliding over each other, whereas in the center it will be apicell. So peripheral palisading is one of the feature of basal cell carcinoma, and you will have blue looking cells, blue looking basal cells, and when you see in between those nests you can have some mucin. So mucin, special stain for mucin, you have a lot of stain, but this mucin is an acidic mucin, so you can highlight it by Alcian blue. Okay, Alcian blue stain, that's a special stain, right? So these are certain features. So you have blue looking tumor, nest of cells, basal cells with peripheral palisading with intervening mucinous stroma. It's usually a basal cell carcinoma. So don't forget about that. So let me summarize about whatever I've told about the PAT gene. It's a tumor suppressor gene. Usually they don't ask the chromosome number of PAT gene because there are few other genes which they usually ask. But if you can remember, you can remember it's located on chromosome 9q. Next is, how does it function? So PAT gene forms a complex with smoothulin gene. So the signal is sonic hedgehog. So only when there is signal, they should dissociate. So this smoothulin will activate the transcription factors. But even without the signal, when there is dissociation, it leads to uncontrolled proliferation. So mutation in PAT gene can cause Gorlin syndrome, which is characterized by one of the important feature is multiple keratocystic odontogenic tumors. Okay, whenever you have multiple odontogenic tumors, you have to think of this syndrome. Then you can have multiple basal cell carcinomas at an young age, especially less than 20 years. Then your CNS tumors, your medulloblastomas. Then you can develop ovarian fibromas. So these are the important things which you should remember about the PAT gene. So any other syndrome associated with ovarian fibroma? Anyone? Meeks syndrome. So what is Meeks syndrome? So Meeks syndrome is an ovarian tumor with ascites and right-sided pleural effusion. That's a triad. Ovarian tumor with ascites and right-sided pleural effusion. So most of the times it's a ovarian fibroma which causes this. and I was discussing about few points of basal cell carcinoma. So what are the important points which you should remember about basal cell carcinoma? It presents as pearly papules with telangiectasia when you examine the patient. Then microscopically you have a blue looking tumor, a basaloid cell with peripheral palisading, and you have a mucinous stroma which can be highlighted by Alcian blue, which is a special stain for mucin. So important take home point is PAX syndrome mutation leads to Gordon syndrome, which can cause multiple basal cell carcinoma. That's the most important thing which you should take home. Okay, thank you.